Hey everyone, Mark Brand here, back with another video. Today I'm doing another Captain Underpants and the Big Bad Battle of the Bionic Booger Boy, Part 2, The Revenge of the Ridiculous Robo-Boogers. Read aloud. And also, thank you guys so much for 3,000 subscribers. I'm so glad. 4,000, I guess, is the next goal. Thank you so much, guys. And let's get right into it. And by the way, do you like my new thing? I said I was going to make one, so here it is. And I guess we'll start on this Flipperama. Chapter 23, The Underpants Dance in Flipperama TM. Introducing Flipperama. Here's how it works. Pilky Brand. I'm not going to read this stuff. Let's get right into it. Step 1. The Wedgie Wiggle. Step 2. The Toilet Top Tango. Step 3. The Waistband What to See. Step 4. The Big Butt Boogie. Chapter 24. Squishy Part 2. Trixie and Frankenbooger had seen enough. They couldn't stand to watch Captain Underpants do that stupid dance 1 second longer, so they pushed down on the seat of the large novelty toilet to hoist themselves up on the roof. Splat! Fortunately for Trixie and Frankenbooger, they had all been irritated by the Underpants dance that they hadn't noticed the 2 crates of oranges placed carefully under that gigantic toilet seat. When they pressed down, the pressure of the toilet seat crushed the orange crates, spraying delicious vitamin oranges all over their big bad boogery bodies. George, Harold, and Captain Underpants watched as their monstrous arch enemies began decomposing before their very eyes. "What happened to them?" asked Harold. "I gave them a squishy," said Captain Underpants. "It's the latest fad." The Roboboogers jerked around wildly as their quickly drying snot crumbled off their smoking robotic endoskeletons. Then, after a few minutes of spinning and screaming, they slowly tumbled to the ground in 2 metallic heaps. Trixie and Frankenbooger were dead. Chapter 25. Big Melvin. Soon, Ingrid Ashley from Channel 24 Eyewitness News arrived at the scene. "How did you manage to destroy the Robo-Boogers?" he asked. "I'll answer that," said Melvin Sneedly as he swooped in front of the cameras. He was robbed in some old drapes that had tied around his neck at the last minute, and he looked quite silly. "I, Big Melvin, found those monsters with my mighty superpowers," Melvin fibbed, "and I destroyed them with my super smart brain." "No, you didn't," said Harold. "You weren't even there," said George. "Don't listen to those guys," said Melvin. "I, Big Melvin, the real hero here." Melvin flew above the 2 defeated Robo-Boogers and used his laser eye beams to burn the letters B and M in front of the dead creatures. "Just like Zorro," said Big Melvin. "I shall sign my initials on all of my heroic handiwork. From now on, whenever you see a big BM, you'll think of me." "That's funny," said George. "Big BMs have always made me think of you." Big Melvin flew over to Captain Underpants and grabbed him by the arm. "Now," said Big Melvin, "the entire world shall bear witness the humiliating defeat of Captain Underpants." Suddenly, George and Harold got an idea. They turned and ran back to the school while Big Melvin continued to threaten Captain Underpants. I command you to bow down to me, said Big Melvin. Never, said Captain Underpants. You shall bow down to me, Big Melvin yelled. I shan't, cried Captain Underpants. Then, said Big Melvin as he untied the drapes around his neck, you will feel the power of my wrath. Chapter 24. The Drapes of Wrath. Big Melvin had his drapes tightly, then smacked Captain Underpants in the tushy with them. I command you to deny underwear and accept the power of Big Melvin, he shouted. No way, Pedro, cried Captain Underpants. Big Melvin smacked Captain Underpants again. Smack! Bow down to me, he commanded, and I shall spare your life. Aw, go jump off a duck, Captain Underpants defiantly. Suddenly, George and Harold returned to the scene out of breath and hiding somewhere behind their backs. Hey, Big Melvin, shouted George, huffing and puffing. What? Yelled Big Melvin. Harold pulled the Combinatron 2000 out from behind his back and aimed it at Melvin and Captain Underpants. You shouldn't leave your toys lying around the library, bub, George said shyly. Melvin shrieked in horror as Harold pulled the trigger. Blast! Zap! A blinding lash of pink light shot out of the Combinatron 2000, surrounding Melvin and Captain Underpants and squishing them together. George had reset the controller to combine them both, transfer the superpowers back to Captain Underpants, and then separate them. I sure hope this works, said Harold. Me too, said George. Chapter 27. To make a long story short, it did. Chapter 28. With big underwear comes big responsibility. Big Melvin fell to the ground with a thud. Immediately, Captain Underpants began floating in the air. Hey, cried the good captain, I've got my superpowers back. I knew that underwear would never let me down. George turned and zapped the channel with 4 eyewitness news team with the Forgetchamacallit 2000. Flash. Suddenly, the Channel 4 Eyewitness News team, as well as everyone at home watching the story unfold on Channel 4 Eyewitness News, immediately forgot what just happened. The horror was over, everything was back to normal, and everyone was happy. Well, except Big Melvin, that is. Wah, sobbed Melvin. I want my superpowers back. Oh, quit your whining, bub, said George. You've been a total jerk for the last 2 books. You should just be happy that you didn't get your comeuppance. Chapter 29. Comeuppance, see me sometime. Soon a crowd gathered and began to recognize Melvin. Hey, cried Misanthrope, that's the little squirt who said he was going to fire my hiney. There he is, shouted a couple of very angry old ladies. That's the little brat who left us up in a tree. He made us lose the big game, cried the entire football team simulatingly. Dudes, yelled one of the skateboarders. That's the little dude who duded our dude boards a few dudes ago. Hehe, laughed Melvin nervously. Maybe I'll just go home now. Get him, shouted the old ladies. Ah, screamed Melvin as he ran away, followed closely by a large group of very angry people. Chapter 30. Harold's Surprise. As Melvin and his angry mob ran off into the sunset, George and Harold had just one thing last to deal with. A quick squirt of water to Captain Underpants' face was all it took to bring him back to his scruffy old self. Well, that takes care of that, said George, and the 2 boys walked back to their treehouse. As George climbed up the ladder to the treehouse, Harold became quite fidgety. Said Harold nervously, there's something I should probably tell you, George. But when George reached the top of the ladder and looked inside the treehouse, no explanation was necessary. Hey, said George, I thought I told you you took Crackers back to his home. I did, said Harold, back to his new home. "Harold," said George sternly, "we can't keep a pet pterodactyl. Do you know how many crackers he would need to eat every day? We could never afford it." "I know," said Harold sadly, "but look how cute he is. And he's made friends with Sulu, too. Can't we keep him just for one night?" "Well, all right," said George, "but we're taking him back tomorrow." Chapter 31, Tomorrow. And we'll stop here for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, thank you so much for 3,000 subscribers, guys. I'm so glad. Thank you for everything. And also, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, drop a fat like, and click the notification bell so you won't miss out on any new videos that I post. Bye.